the Nissan Ariya, the fully electric SUV. Now it's time to walk to Silverstone. Now you remember that we saw this at fully charged, it was chopped in half, so we could see all the gubbins of the electric powertrain. Well now, we can see it in one piece. I'm Ben Quirk, welcome to Planet Auto. Here we are back at SMMT Weatherby, so we can take a deeper look without that raucous music in the background. What a clean style. It encompasses Japanese heritage, as you'll see when we take a look inside. As it's not combustion, it doesn't need a grille. Styling here. Now there's the start of the Japanese heritage.
Utilising Nissan's new EV platform, the Ariya is available with 3 batteries, 63 kWh, 87 kWh, and the eForce 87 kWh. And this combines with the 3 trims, the Engage, the Advance and the Evolve. Engage 63 kWh starts from £39,645. The highest spec, the eForce Evolve Plus, at £59,025.
Full LEDs, parking sensors, front camera and all manner of styling. And it really works in this traditional Japanese gold colour. And I suppose that's the symbolism of Ariya. It's not just modern, it's traditional classic JDM. Love it. On first impressions, well, it looks like an SUV that can hold its own. The chunky cladding, and it's nice that it's got a gloss finish. So many vehicles are done in matte, but with this, it really stands out. The 18-inch wheels and the black cladding that runs down the side. You'd be forgiven for saying whether it's a large car or an SUV. The thing is, because it's on a completely new electric platform, even though it's got that sloping roofline that really adds to it, it doesn't compromise any of the space. Let's take a look inside. Keyless entry, well, that's nice. Just put your fingers inside the handle as opposed to pressing that, and you can open the door. Power folding door mirrors, blind spot detection. Oh, this reminds me of old school R33. It had this kind of velour blue seating. It was very retro, late 80s, 90s, and it added such character to the car. This is finished in a traditional Japanese woodworker's finish. Yes, it's in plastic here, but it's the shaping. Padded areas, child's play to get into, and yes, grab handles throughout. And that, look at the mirror, look at the angles. Talk about minimalist design, talk about minimalist styling. Now this is very futuristic. And rotaries, well, one. Definitely better than some of the other cars we've seen without them, so that is excellent, to be honest. It reminds me of BMW i3. This open area down here, very futuristic, completely different to X-Trail. That has like a traditional cluster, whereas with this you've got the big digital cluster that then merges into the infotainment system. Proper haptic buttons, and you can feel the pulse through them. Comfortable supportive seats, decent headroom, and a Bose sound system. So you've also got proper buttons too, and they do like the gold touches. Electric seat all round, and I've got memory function. It's not the biggest door pocket, but check this for solid. Nice. Flat bottom steering wheel, it's leather wrapped. It's really cleverly designed. It immerses you in the future of Nissan with the design language and the shaping, but then envelops it in their heritage. And that really stands out to me. I mean, just look at the shag pile carpet. It's fantastic. And it's got some tricks up its sleeve. Look at that. Very nice. You start it here. So, as we know, this is a fully electric powertrain. To put in drive, it's very similar to the X-Trail, so it's just literally shift back. We've also got brake mode. We'll look at that in the driving section. Where could I eat my takeaway? I can't stand anything on here, and I don't want to ruin that. So, let's pop out tray and slide this forward. Extra storage. Memory function in your steering wheel, and it is electrically adjusted. Chunky stalks, great build quality throughout, and the switchgear, very nice. And in case you're wondering where the handbrake is, yes, you don't have a traditional one, but you do have a little switch under here. Comfortable supportive seats, and yes, they are heated. Now, it's nice to see you've got a proper rotary dial, but the rest of it you will have to use through the infotainment screen. But it's responsive, it's got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, navigation, and some of the car's settings. This, I love it, I really do. And yes, a sunglasses holder. Okay, see what it's like in the back. It feels, well, the future of Nissan, which it is. From this rear quarter, I just love the design design language around here. The combination of the black roof that blends into these, I suppose they're like corner sections. It's just the shaping, the body lines, the accentuated rear haunches, and the styling in the rear lenses. Climbing in the back, if it's anything like X-Trail, look at that. It's amazing how wide Nissan doors open. And yes, we've got doors that cover the sills, more padded areas, classic styling. Electric window, decent door pocket, and I barely need to duck my head either. The memory function's kicked in, so it's kicked the seat right back. Say whilst I'm driving, it will be far further forward. Decent legroom, you can tell it's on a new platform. I can just about get my feet under the seat. Compared to say traditional Nissan, it feels very open. So many interiors nowadays, when you get into the back, it's not the same experience. But look, we've still got the shed pile carpet too. Love it. Heated seats, USBs, and you've got some vents. And I do like this finish. It's like a gold pinstripe. Look at that for a panoramic. So it's nice and light and airy. But you do have the power blinds, so if it is a bit sunny, you're all sorted. Comfortable, supportive seats, rather plush. Cup holders. And I'm a real fan of this retro blue. So many interiors are black. And this is, it's refreshingly different. I love it. Look at even the straps here. Traditional touches once again. Grab handles on both sides, and we've got a light on both sides. I've got far more headroom in here than the X-Trail. I can sit right back. My hair doesn't even brush. And that's at 6'3". Such a well-engineered car. Right, let's take a look at the back. Now, there's no other way of saying it. This is a beautiful rear. The curvature, the slimmed down LED, the full width light bar, and even the way that Nissan is placed behind something that you would have seen in, say, 80s Nissan. That's it. Yet again, traditional elements blended with modern. Rear diffuser styling once again, parking sensors, reversing camera, sporty rear spoiler. And to be honest, I'd have probably hidden that under there. But apart from that, it's such a clean look. Let's take a look in the boot. Power tailgate, decent size, and look, no boot lid. Charge cable here, subwoofer, Bose. You've got extra storage here, and your inflation kit. It's a decent size boot, and it's nice and easy to load due to its height. Storage points here, boot lights, supportive strap, tethering points, and shopping bag hooks there. To drop the seats, you just literally pull this little flap here, very little gap, and it lays almost flat. So I quite easily get my EMTB in here, which is nice. But it's a 320 mile range. I do love these black mirror caps and the black elements throughout. Now, charging. So it's on the front wing. Decent sturdy hinge, and yes, it'll Type 2 and rapid. Nicely engineered, and you do have a light. Let's check under the bonnet. Wow, so no frunk, but it's nice and easy to see where you top up fluids. And yeah, a nice lightweight bonnet. To open, just pull like that. Well, I've just been looking around the Ariya at Silverstone. Now we're at SMMT North. We're behind the wheel of the Nissan Ariya. So they're fully electric SUV, and it's full of Japanese heritage. Very smooth. And I think the range of this is around 320 miles, dependent on climate, the way you drive it, etc, etc. It's very different to X-Trail. Very modern, very sleek. Instant power, but you just love it. So this is the E-Force system. So it's very similar to the X-Trail, except minus the combustion engine. Ooh, got some power, hasn't it, Annabelle?
Yeah. This thing's rapid.
It is.
Oh.
Nice weighty regen there too. Okay. Let's see what it's like on the open road. It feels well planted. Puts the power down efficiently, and yeah, it can shift. Well, you can tell journalists have been driving it 1.7 mile kilowatt hour, but it is going up now I've eased off. So like the X-Trail, you've got your drive and you've got your brake mode. So if I put it in brake, just back off and let the vehicle sort itself out. Okay, there are driving modes. Interesting. So these are all haptic buttons too. So it doesn't look like there's a button, but you can feel it, and it's quite a pulse in your finger, so you know you've touched it. Because that's the biggest challenge with haptic. Nice and quiet and refined in the cabin. And travelling at 50, I can hear a faint outside noise, but it's quite windy and rainy today, so that makes sense. You can tell it's got some weight behind it, and it feels so well planted. Comfortable suspension, and it eats up every bump. Gives you an engaging and rewarding drive. Steering, nice and weighty. Great direction. Good feedback. It's, yeah, considering its size, it's quite agile. Got to hold it down a bit because Annabelle's feeling a little ooky pooky, shall we say. So let's try the driving modes. Just gone into Eco, and you can feel it pull back. So let's try. That's standard, and then if I hit Sport, if I put my foot down, just try it from 49 to 60. Ooh, it amps up the sound in the cabin too. Very futuristic. 2.4 mile kilowatt hour now, so it's starting to get far more efficient. Comfortable, supportive, very, well, I don't think there's any body roll, is there? It seems to go,
It's minimal.
yeah. But it's almost, the power delivery is on a similar level, which you wouldn't expect because of the combustion motor, but as we know, that works with using the two electric motors. So you just take out the combustion, you've got essentially the same system.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's it's quite responsive. That's exactly what I was doing. Look at that for a turning circle.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, so let's do a bit of a launch. The thing is, it doesn't scrabble for grip, and it does feel pretty quick. Puts a grin on your face, doesn't it?
As I say, you're enjoying this experience, aren't you?
Of course I am.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I be? Let's go back into Eco. We've also got snow mode too, so that's perfect for the winter months. And it's just a pleasant experience. I can also see we've got a demisting front windscreen. See the little wires through it. That reminds me of Ford Orions back in the day. They've normally got rounded edges. Full of safety, collision detection, sensors and cameras all over the shop, to be honest.
Yeah, it's tacked up to the nines, isn't it?
It is. Collision mitigation, AEB, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, adaptive with stop go. And you've got buttons on the steering wheel as well, but they're not haptic. Switch gear, feels great. There's a good sense of quality in this vehicle.
Yeah.
And you combine that with the Heritage, and it's just a lovely car, isn't it? Well, SUV. The other thing is, it doesn't feel particularly SUV.
No, it feels more like just a
Large car?
Yeah, large car.
Yeah, it's perfect for the family. And with that range, if you drive economically, you know, say around cities and things, you'll be able to exceed that quite easily. So currently we're getting 2.9 mile kilowatt hour. That's pretty good. Cluster, nice and straightforward. You see when it's recharging. You can also see when you're drawing power. Road sign recognition. And everything's nice and straightforward. And we do have a heads-up display too, so that's got lots of information. Great visibility, big windscreen, and I mean, we've got blind spot detection, but the B pillars aren't too chunky either. just gobbles up these bumps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a very smooth ride.
Yeah, it's a good all-rounder. I suppose the way we'd say it is, if you're not ready for that EV jump yet, then you could go for the X-Trail, get the hang of it, and then when it's time to transition to a full electric, you look at Ariya, and yes, it needs charging, but it's got a good range, and it seems to be rather economical with it. It's roomy, it's practical, it's full of safety, and to be honest, it's got a price that matches what you get. So, yeah, I'd be happy to own one of these.
Yeah. All in all, it's a winner, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. And once again, the Japanese heritage. Love it.